Good morning, football fans everywhere. So, it seems the camera angle's a bit funny. It's been a long time since I've been down here, and I couldn't remember where to put the camera. I've blocked out the sky tree somehow. I don't remember where to put the camera. It has been quite a while since we've been down here. So, someone says we've got a rare camera angle. We were all bored out of our minds because this is all we ever saw every day, every day. I don't think we're going to see any airplanes, not from the angle we're at here. So it's been a couple of months, right, since I started going upstairs to do printing and stuff. I don't know, it's recently that it matches the feeling of my life. I feel it's chaos just now. Every day it's chaos and triage and getting up each morning and thinking, which of the eggs do I have to catch before they smash on the floor? And yeah, we can definitely see the sky tree. Okay, they haven't replaced the comedians, but something else is happening. I forgot. Let's put this back up for a second. See if we can this up. Maybe we... Okay, it's difficult to see because we can't see it. They've put up an extra banner on every post. The post right in front of the camera doesn't go high enough. If we look at the post across the street, the guy who looks like he's in the window, then just above and to the right of the comedian, there's a new banner hanging there. And you can see the same banner if you look across to the right-hand side. There's a post with a comedian who's nearly hidden, just above where those two people are walking right now. There's another banner. It's got a diagonal pattern, white at the top left and blue at the bottom right. And these are the new promotional banners. They'll be here all year long. These are the banners promoting the NHK special program that's running this year, the Taiga drama, the large C drama or the large picture drama, whatever. I'm not sure what the ga refers to. I guess it's C, I don't know. Anyway, every year NHK does a huge one-year drama. It's about a 45-minute episode once a week. It's a massive, massive production. And this year the theme is about, we've talked about this, the theme is actually about woodblock printmaking. It's, of course, the theme is wider. It's focusing on one man who was a woodblock publisher back in the late 1700s. In the early part of his life, the government was friendly to commercial activity and mercantile activities and that kind of stuff. But just when he got a flourishing publishing business set up, the next government tried to suppress this kind of stuff and go back to a classical, more samurai-type Japan. And commercial activities and stuff and showing wealth and showing money were repressed. So they've made a year-long drama about this, focused on that one concept and all the dozens and dozens of people that are involved in it. There's some of the people of Madachi have already appeared on the program as carvers and printers, appearing as themselves. And it's a thing, it's a theme. And the local city office, Taitoku, is, because all those events happened here 300 years ago, late 1700s. Yeah, 300 plus years ago. And we sort of should be trying to tie into this, but I haven't pushed in that direction. I haven't got any time to start new projects. We're behind on all our current projects. Our shop is getting more empty during the day. It makes no sense for me to try and wave a flag and tie in with this NHK drama. It's too bad. The timing is wrong, you know. Okay, what we are going to be doing today, it's a mixed bag. The job I'm supposed to be doing is color separations for the 4th print in the, I was going to say Japan Journey, in the Dreams of the Future series. But over the weekend, a couple more things got dropped onto my desk. And at the moment, Ishikawa-san upstairs is waiting for this block. So I have to I have to do some carving work on this block so that she can get busy with her printing this morning. That takes priority. If I finish that, we can look at some prints that have arrived and then look at that and then start the color separation work. We've got the key block. You've seen it before. This is the candy store. It's It's the candy store print with a cat, another cat. Some of them are not my fault. Some of the cats are my fault. Some of them are not my fault. If we get to that, we get to it. If we don't, we don't. Right now, I have to fix this block. Oh, look at this. This is top secret. Top secret, not yet. It'll be top secret later. What's the key thing tying all these images together? What are you seeing here? What's the common theme to tie these things together? It's going to be so much fun. So much fun. 2026. Okay, what happened with this print? I said I got to fix this block. It's not fix in the sense of a mistake was made and I have to put things back on the right track. It's fix in the sense of adjust and move forward. This is the key block to a single print that we are publishing here sometime this year. You saw, I know those of you who've been watching me print upstairs and do different things, you saw one day when I was printing there, I introduced Ishikawa-san, who had been sitting behind me, and I showed the print she was making. It's a Koitsu print, Manazuru Harbor. I don't think I have an image for you here. No, I don't. And she's pretty much finished. The blocks were all carved. She's done test printing, called for a bit more carving. And what we have to do now is I've got to cut off some of the lines on this block, because we have here what's called muda bori, waist carving. The line that you see here, it delineated the position of a mountain, and it had to be on the key block so that we could see where the sea ends and the mountain starts, and where the mountain ends and where the sky starts. So those locations had to be carved on sky block number 1, sky block number 2, sea block 1, sea block 2, and mountain block. So 5 different blocks needed that information for carving. That's why we carved a line here so that that data could be transferred to 5 different blocks. She's done test printing now, and she's realized, and we've all realized, that the sky blocks and the sea blocks match, the mountain blocks and sky blocks match. Everything looks good. So this data is no longer needed, and we don't want an actual black line around the outside of this mountain. Just the shape of the mountain will be enough. So now that line is going to come off. It's unneeded. And we knew from the beginning. We carved it, used the data, and now we'll be taking the line away because we don't need it. It's called muda bori. And we've already had some. You can see some here. There were lines carved on the key block that outlined the clouds and moon. And once we confirmed that the sky blocks were okay, she sent this to me and I carved those away. And why did we not do them together? Because we still weren't sure whether or not we were going to leave this outline on the mountain. We've tested. We've come to the conclusion that no, we're going to take it off. Did Mokuhankan ever put the book on sale? If you're talking about the Okada Yoshio book, we received 5 or 6 advance copies. We sold those in the shop, kept one for ourselves, and the people now who are doing that project are still in the process of getting the thing printed and issued. As soon as we have stock of the Okada book, it will be in the catalog online, and it'll be in the shop again. It's all up to them right now, I'm sorry. Oh, we've got a bot command. Thank you. Look at this. Muda bori. Muda is waist, and bori is carving. And you can't go back. Once it's done, we can't go back. So this is always every time I do Mudabori, every time we cut it off, there's always this little feeling that, am I doing the right thing? Because we've made a test print and it kind of looks okay. And we weren't really able to test it without these lines because, of course, the lines are here. So she tried printing some samples of the print, rubbing pigment on, wiping these off, and then printing it. But it still leaves a mark. This, right now, is the moment of no return. Cut. Cut. The deed is done. Someone's asking, Dave, please, what's happening here? Dave, kami dashimashita. Well, there's two mistakes there. We would say washi and dashimashita, S-H-I-T-A, dashimashita. Hai, kami dashimashita. Chodo, 6時, mezamashi no ato, kami dashimashita. It's for Ishikawa-san. She's printing this one upstairs. She's waiting for this block. Pardon your French. It's a lot better than mine. So, actually, I said I was being a bit obstreperous there. We could say kami. It's okay. Paper. Washi dashimashita. Kami dashimashita. Dore demo ii desu. It's okay. I was just being picky. Are we possibly studying Japanese now, Mr. 1060? Is this an indication of future communications in Japanese? We can, I guess, zoom closer, can't we? Somebody is now asking, is the paper out? Yes, we have discussed that. And now somebody's asking, how do you say paper out in Japanese? Ask Tom 1060. I think we can leave the language lessons to the crew here. What happens if I remove too much by accident? Well, of course, it's no good. And you've taken away this line here now. If it turned out that we changed our minds and we wanted to fix this, oh my God, what have I done? Let's put it back. I can cut a hole in the wood here. We've done this before. We've done it on stream. It's only a piece of wood, so I can cut a hole, put a new piece of wood in, flatten the top, and we can carve a new line. It's quite possible to fix mistakes within reason. If you've destroyed too much, or if too much has gone wrong, then sometimes it's just better to start all over again. But within reason, it's just a piece of wood. It's like fixing a violin. If there's a crack in it, you put a new piece of wood in and fix it or something. If there's a table, put an insert in the top and fix the table. It's just a piece of wood. Quite easy to fix compared to some other materials. No welding. It can be finicky, but it's doable. Are there any Japanese depictions of European dragons? I'm sorry, that's out of my pay grade here. There are many dragons in woodblock prints going back. They would be, to my knowledge, Chinese or Japanese. Off the top of my head here, the idea of a European dragon in woodblock prints. The only way there could possibly be such a thing is in the genre of prints that were created in the late 1800s when the Europeans were first here. Some woodblock prints did depict European people and European ships and stuff like that. But I rather doubt that any of them would have been dragons. I don't remember that. Not sure what Jacques is asking there. He's added a word to that phrase, mo, which generally would mean also. So for example, if Ishikawa-san asks me, kami dashimashita? And I say, hai, Ishikawa-san no kami dashimashita yo. And then Ayumi-san could say, ja, watashi no kami mo dashimashita? Is my paper also taken out? Hai, Ayumi-san no kami mo dashita yo. Is this a new meme for this stream? Language lessons? Again, someone's asking about the Portugal. It's the genre. If you Google Yokohama e or Nagasaki e, it's the genre of prints that I was just mentioning. That era from the middle 1800s, 1850 or 1860, 70, 80, the era when the Europeans were in and around the country at first, or openly coming in, there was the genre. And Nagasaki was one of the ports, Yokohama was another port. So the genre to look for is Yokohama e or Nagasaki e. E meaning picture. And if you Googled either of those two terms, you'll get lots of illustrations of older Japanese prints, ukiyo-e prints, based on the theme of the foreigners who were coming into Japan. Now this one's quite wider, so I think it's hammer time for this one. We'll use our persuader on this. Someone's asking anything like that for Chinese prints out of my sphere of knowledge. I'm sorry, I have absolutely no idea about Chinese prints of that kind of era. I don't know. I see, Jacques-san was saying more already, more, it's done. I see, okay. get pictures of automobile tires, nutty. The things that were in the middle of the mountain, they were little boxes that surrounded lights. It seems that they were trying to indicate that there are structures, buildings over there with some window lights. And that was part of the, I don't have a print to show you, I'm sorry, but that was part of the discussion with Ishikawa-san. Taking away the border of the mountain, but also taking away the border around those lights. That's also not needed at this point. Those lights can just glow in the middle of the mountain. They don't need a box, a window frame around them. And we're still undecided what to do about the mountain on the other side. There's the same thing here. We had this spit of land coming out, and the same thing comes from this side. This one's a bit different. This one is the shape of trees. And there's also some structures and windows. And we looked at her test print and thought, should we take these lines off as well? And neither of us had the nerve to say, yeah, let's cut them off. We're not sure. It works with the lines there. Both of us were too nervous to make the decision to say, yeah, let's go ahead, chop those off too. So we backed out. We're chickens. We backed out. Left those lines, this one's. Okay, that will do it. This will allow her now to print the key block without those extra lines. And there's really no going back. We could theoretically fix it, but we've made our decision. Cut the lines off. And there it is for that one. Okay, that's done. She left me 2 blocks to fix. Fix, as I said, fix meaning fix, quote, unquote. That's one. The second one is an actual, here we are. This one's a bit different. It might seem a bit strange to hear. In the picture, there's a couple of trees, and then there's other stuff beside the trees. There's that lantern we saw, the different things. The boats are in the sea. Different stuff is there. The town is here. And we couldn't figure out how to do the color separations on the trees, so we ended up carving this extra block, which puts highlights on the side of a tree. Now normally in woodblock printmaking we don't print highlights. We can only print darker colors on top of light. So we can't print a light, like here, the light on my hair or something. We can't print just that. We have to use an underblock for that color and then a darker block for the darker places. But we didn't, and at the end of the day we needed one more block, so we cut a quick block that would put highlight color. But I asked the carver, Kawasaki-san, don't clear this area away just yet. Let us test print this first to see if it's okay. It could be that during the test printing we might have needed this piece of wood for maybe some other area. But if it's chopped away, we would have had to grab another raw piece of wood. After the test printing, it seems we're okay. We don't need this area. So Ishikawa-san, of course, she can't print this with all this extra things in the way. So she asked me, Dave, now that we've decided, now that it's all wrapped up, get rid of this. So Dave has to now use the 2-finger rule or 3-finger rule, whatever it is. And I have to get rid of this wood so that she can print this area cleanly. All of which is a way of saying that for a couple of minutes here, it's going to be a little bit noisy. Got your headphones? We've got our limiter or noise gate, or I'm really still not sure how this works. I'm going to make some noise for a minute. If you're a delicate environment, turn your volume down. If you've got headphones on, think about taking them off. It's up to you. I'm going to make some noise. It'll all be over in 2 or 3 minutes. It's like the doctor. It won't hurt, just relax. It'll all be over in a couple of minutes. Away we go. Have they brought music with them? No idea what they're doing. Gang of guys. I don't hear music now. I think they came by with a music player. Is that a party? Let me know if we need to zoom in on what they're doing. Someone's asking, am I doing something illegal? Are there rules against filming in public? I really don't know. At the entrance to this street, both ends, we are 2 blocks here, this association. And recently, a bunch more security cameras were installed here. There's really next to no problem. There's no crime in this district, per se. Not that kind of crime. But there is now a bunch more cameras, and at the entrance to each, there's a couple of signposts saying, this area is, what's the expression in English when I say this? This area is patrolled by security cameras, or this area, you are under observation by security cameras, or something like that, I don't know. So right where they're sitting, actually, there's a sign near where they are that says, this area is under camera supervision, blah, blah. Now that doesn't mean Dave's streaming, it's the security cameras on the posts, but the point is there. People walking around here have been, quote, warned that they're on cameras, under surveillance, to show, whatever. Just someone saying, what I'm doing now, would this be illegal in Germany? Is that what you're saying? It's still a gray area, walking around town with a camera for your Twitch stream or your YouTube or just recording for yourself. Every day, any number of times, of course, tourists come down the street recording what they are seeing. But there must be public webcams everywhere. Someone's saying this is illegal. Filming in every public space requires a permit from government. But I think if you go to Google and look for public webcams or something, and you can name any city, public webcam Tokyo or whatever, you'll see there's one here on Sensoji Temple. There's webcams everywhere showing the scene and the weather and the whatever. Here in Portugal, you can't even have dash cams? Really? I think here, what I'm doing here, it's pretty much a don't ask, don't tell. If I went to the local police station and said, I've got a plan, I'm going to put a camera outside my business, and we're going to do what's called Twitch streaming. I'll sit there and work and talk and chat about printmaking, and we'll have a camera outside that shows the stream. If I went to the police office and asked for this, the guy at the desk would say, let's see, let me ask somebody. And they would ask and ask and ask around. And they would come back and say, yeah, no, please, don't do this, because they have no authority to give me permission for this. It's also gray and so whatever. So nobody would say yes. Even though it might be okay, nobody would be able to put his name, yes, I, John Smith, police sergeant, say, yes, you can do this. Nobody could possibly do that. So we're just doing the common sense here thing, don't ask, don't tell. I'm not doing anything that I think is antisocial. It's not really clear. It's like the bicycles on the street thing here in Japan. Do bicycles belong on the streets or on the sidewalks? This is a super, super gray area. Okay, I think we've given her enough clearance. She can print this. She can be happy. Maybe peeling a bit off that would help her. Oops, wrong way. Yeah, somebody's pointing out the difference between showing a street cam and then recording it all. So, whatever, we've been doing this now for about 7 years, and if one day the local cop shop sees it and asks me to stop, we'll have to stop. But I don't think we're doing anything wrong. So. So being a bit recalcitrant here, doesn't want to come out. Push. Push. Here we go. Got it. Okay, I think we have now acquitted ourselves honorably on the job that she wanted. Okay, there's her blocks. I think she's still okay for half an hour or so. She is at the moment, I think she's pressing the paper flat. She's working with the press upstairs. So I've got a few minutes grace. She wanted this as soon as possible, but I think we're still okay because I think she's still pressing her paper. It could be that once that's finished, she will come in the door saying, "Where's my block? We're now ready." It's okay, but I don't think I have to take it up to her. Okay, job number 1 done. Job number 2, couple of prints. This is brought to me last night by Dei-chan, one of our staff printers here. Dei-chan and Chon-san, the couple from Hong Kong. They've been here now, they must have come in 2015. This is their 10th year, I think, in Japan now. And she's working wonderfully for us as a printer. But they, from Hong Kong, they're going back to Hong Kong today for the New Year. It's Chinese New Year, and there's a big family get-together, and they're having all their family come. So Dei-chan and Chon-san are coming back So she dropped off a couple of jobs before she left. This is not new. You've seen these before, but it's another batch. Dei-chan is still the only person who has attempted to print this one. And we have now finally caught up with this. This is the last print in last year's Hokusai series. And Dei-chan has done another incredible batch of these prints. You've seen them before, I know, whatever. So they're just still, they're so incredible. The carving Chon-san did on this, and the printing, the incredibly delicate printing that Dei-chan has done on this. We've got all these faces for scale here. There's my finger. And these people have eyeballs. It's beyond belief. How many faces have we got on this print? I don't even know. And again, there's the scale. Look at my finger. All the incredible detail. The hair behind the hair. It's just one of the most astonishing woodblock prints that has ever been done. Incredible. I can't imagine the work and the level of delicacy she's gone through to bring these things in. You know, this is not pigment splash rub. She's working delicately brush, head by head by head. We should never have tried to publish this. It's completely and totally and absolutely uneconomic. Drive us into bankruptcy. The other job she's finished before heading off is another batch of crane and wave. She likes doing this one because her partner Chon-san carved this one. These will be trimmed before going out. This will be a bleed print. This white area at the top will be trimmed off. And we've got a wonderful, wonderful embossing on this one. It's an old Hiroshige design. Look at, she's done such a beautiful job, the gradation. From deep, rich blue to nothing. And you can't tell where any of it starts and stops. There's no lines. A poor printer doing a gradation, you can see dark areas and light areas. And she's just killed this. It's so deep it looks almost black. Fading out all the way down to nothing. Incredible, incredible, incredible. I can't do it that well. There's no way I can do it that well. And she's been consistent over the whole batch. This print's kind of paradoxical for me because when you think about it, if you were in a drawing class somewhere, you know, the teacher's, okay, draw me a crane, please, you know, whatever, bird flying, draw me a crane. Can you imagine if you sort of handed in this composition, the crane with the neck and the head like this and one wing down, one wing up, the legs out back. If you handed this in, the teacher's going to say, okay, Dave, that's very creative. Now let's, maybe try again. And then the wave on top, totally unrealistic. Why do we accept this as being interesting or nice? I mean, it's bizarre. It's bizarre in the extreme. That's not what cranes look like. But it doesn't matter. This is part of one of my major, all the time, major points over the years about these woodblock prints. Why they're attractive and why I like them and why other people like them and why we want to hold these things in our hands. It's really not about the picture so much, you know. It doesn't matter. There's something there that catches our attention, but it doesn't matter at all how realistic it is. It's just, it's kind of a raw beauty. You know, we've mentioned this before. If you close your eyes and just put pigment on paper with a skillful way, it doesn't matter about the picture because the result just looks so beautiful because of the beauty of the washi, the beauty of the pigments, the skill of the craftsman in putting these things together. And I can't say it doesn't matter about the picture because that's not true because it does, but to me it's about the materials and the techniques, the skill of the person putting together these glorious materials. Then when on top of that you have an image with meaning and that looks beautiful and it has some meaning to somebody, then it's just icing on the cake and it just whatever. Whatever. I've been at this now. When did I start my first one? When did I try making my first print? 1979, 78 or 79. I tried it as a hobby. I can't remember. 79 maybe. What's that? 46 years ago? 44 years ago? 46 years ago. Still, I can't get enough of this. That wasn't Hokusai, that was Hiroshige, just so you know. Doesn't much matter. It's in our catalog. In fact, now that they've been turned, it's been turned off. You know, our catalog, they're all full of reprinting. This is turned off because it was reprinting. But what I should do right now is I should go to our manager page, just one sec. Manager page, catalog edit an existing item, and it's, what's it called? Crane and Wave 0309. Open the page, it says reprinting, and I'm now going to turn it to available, latest printer day. Print is now open in the catalog. Buy it. Okay, what's next? Okay, what's next is a job that is going to take me a couple of days. I can't do it all here in front of you over the next few minutes. It's going to be days and days and days of work. It's going to be decision making, questions. What I've got is this. I have a bunch of printouts from the key block. These are not woodblock prints. This is Photoshop. This is a bunch of key block outlines of the block that I just showed you. The key block is finished. We now need to make color blocks. The good people at Atelier Cento have, of course, given me what they think is a color breakdown. Based on my experience with the first two prints that they gave us, and looking at the color breakdown they gave us, I am thinking that it's not suitable. Actually, I should have given, I don't have the very first one. Okay, I haven't edited one. They gave me first level A. They did some color. Do I have it? No, I just have the outline. They gave me their idea of a color separation, and it really wasn't suitable because I had hoped they would go back to their roots, thinking about doing a light blue in this zone and doing a light yellow on top of it, and a green would appear and this sort of stuff. They know how to do this. They've worked all their lives in layering watercolors. But they have, from their point of view, they've got a problem in that once they communicate to me the design, That's easy. They put the lines in a Photoshop file, send it to us, we carve it. That part is easy. What's not easy is for them to communicate to me these ideas of layering colors. So what they've done, the same as Jed Henry did and the same as all the other artists do, they go to Photoshop and they try and paint it in Photoshop to show me what they want. But when you do it in Photoshop, whether you use transparent layers with 50% opacity or 70% opacity, or whether you use multiply layers, there's many ways to fake it in Photoshop so that it looks like a picture. But when you've done it this way, Photoshop layer A with B on top and then C partly on top, it never comes out the same way as the actual pigments on paper. And I can say why. It's each of the pigments, although they are transparent, they have different levels of transparency. They're not as exact as Photoshop. Dial 80, 70, 60, 50, you get what you want. Pigments don't work that way. The other thing is, if I can't do this without, where's a piece of paper? We fall into this all the time. Okay, we've got an area. Okay, let's think about this. Suppose there's an area of a color and it's surrounded by a white space. Oh, you can't see, it's too bright. Just a sec. This is the core struggle that I'm going to be doing in the next couple of days. There's a printed area and it's surrounded by a white area. So let's imagine the printed area is like this. And this is color A, and this is white. And now we want to use a gray tint to shade these. Something, for example, okay, there's on the back of the cat here, for example, there's a tint that is a shadow for the cat. And it goes over the white part of the cat, and it goes over the light brown part of the cat, and it goes over the dark brown of the cat. And here that same pigment goes over this banner, and it's going to cast a shadow on the lettering part, and it's going to cast a shadow on the white part. Now here in Photoshop, it sort of makes sense. You can see the shadow on that banner, and it looks kind of like what you would expect a shadow to be. So the Atelier Cento doing this for me, they have given me a shadow block that they think properly shades these things. But in real life, it doesn't. And that right there, that's an example. There's the red area of the lettering, and here's the white area of the banner. And if we put a shadow block across this, if the gray is really light, it will be visible across the white because nothing is below it, and we will see a light shadow. But quite possibly, we won't even see this because the color, the red color below it, is deep enough that the gray here won't show us a shadow on the red. So okay, we crank it up. We put the gray on deeper. Now we can see the shadow here on the red, but now, because the next area is white, that gray starts to look almost black. It doesn't look like a shadow anymore. It looks like we've put a black color on it. So this is our core problem when designers do this crap in Photoshop. It doesn't replicate the way the real world works. That's the simplest example I've given you, but every single time. Here it is, she's given us a sort of a light green tone, and then somehow this deep blue tone is coming up, and it probably comes from one of these roof tile things here. But that won't do it because it'll be almost invisible on the green. So I've got to just take their picture and say, okay, that looks nice, that's fine, but those color separations don't work for woodblock prints. I've got to sit here now. I've started to do this last night, a couple of days ago actually. I started to work out what I think would be a workable color separation for this design. What we're going to do, I'm not trying to insult the designers here. They just simply don't have the experience. So this is magic stuff. And if you know how the magic works, you know it. And if you don't know how the magic works, it's magic. And she has said the same. We've chatted about this, but with Atelier Cento, and she said the magic of the woodblock printmaking. So they're coming here next week. They're flying in February the 5th. They're going to be here in Japan for 3, maybe 4 weeks. And they're going to do their own projects. They're working on their own Tokyo Mystery Cafe book, but they're also going to get here upstairs. We're going to chain them to a workbench, put a baron in hand, and we're going to give them some simple printing lessons, trying to show them how some of these colors layer on. Someone's asking, will we see them on stream? The problem is they're coming in on the 5th. I'm leaving on the 7th. I get back on the 22nd. They're leaving on the 28th. So the overlap time here is not so much. And they have a huge number of their own projects they want to work on. So are we going to see them on stream? I don't know. Almost certainly we're not going to do her printing lessons on stream. That would be just too embarrassing or whatever. So anyway, that's the background of what's going on here. Someone says, how do we replicate shadows on woodblock printmaking? Well, we do it the way I just did it. There is a shadow block. It's called, in general, a nezumiban. But it doesn't work the same way as light falling across a scene. I mean, it doesn't. Whatever. All I can say is the way a shadow works on top of any given color, it depends. Just it depends. The other very difficult thing about this print is this. Look at we've got a toy here. The boy has a sort of a, I don't know, a drone, whatever. He's got a toy. The boy has a control panel, and the toy is floating, and it's got a light beam, and whatever. But we get a couple of places then where now we have negative things impacting different blocks. Now, take a look at this. The toy has a light beam that goes down. Now you don't do the light beam with black outlines, of course. So the boy's trousers have a black outline, no problem. Do the black outline, put some kind of color inside. For the light beam, you can't do this. The light beam is going to be, of course, an area of white paper. But look at this down at the bottom. The light beam has to look clear and clean and sharp, and yet this color block comes up to the beam. This color block comes up to the beam. The wood of the wall, there's 4 different color blocks impact this beam. How do we know where to cut them off so that they leave a white area? Take the information from the key block? Well, no. The key block in that area is completely blank. There's no information for us on the key block whatsoever. What we could have done, actually, we could have called for mudabori. Remember I showed you on that koitsu print a few minutes ago, we drew the mountain, used that as information, and then cut the mountain away later. And as I sit here now, I really regret that we didn't do it that way. I didn't think enough advance. I was stressed for time. The image came in. I sent it out to Kawasaki-san. But in retrospect, I should have drawn lines here where the light beam is flowing, used those lines as information to make color blocks, and then cut the lines off. But I didn't do that. And now I'm paying the price for it. Key block is the black outline block, yes. So what I'm going to have to do is this. Part of my preparation for this last night in Photoshop, I did this. I created 2 circles and I created black lines in just the place where we want this glowing light. And as I'm going to be preparing the color blocks over the next few days, I will use this to trace and I will trace on the lines that would have been the Mudabori lines. So this light circle, it's going to have to be cut out from the blue block, from the light brown block, and from the dark brown block. So those circles come out of 3 blocks. I will have to trace this carefully onto all 3 of those blocks so that I know where to cut. It's kind of a rat's nest, and I'm really not sure where to start. So what we're going to do is this. This morning, what have we got left? It's 56. I've got 10 or 15 minutes left. What we'll do is the one part of it that we can show that you can see and understand. For Dave to sit here mindlessly staring at this, waiting for inspiration to strike, is not interesting for anybody to watch. So what we're going to do is the physical part of it. I'm going to take the block and print some of the transfer sheets. The noise you hear outside is the garbage truck at the Korean hot dog place down the street. Need light, I'm not sure. Better? Did we just see somebody come in? Was it Yamada-san or was it Naomi-san? Who just came in? If it was a lady, it was Naomi-san, our order clerk. If it was a young man, it was Yamada-san, our bookkeeper. Someone in red, I don't know what they wear. Oh, they only can see from the waist down. Soka. Was it Naomi-san? Okay, we have some of our patented, not patented transfer paper. It's a copy, thick illustration paper, and glued to it with spray glue is our thin Gampi paper. Now don't start talking about peels. We're not in any way going to be getting to peel stage today. I'm just going to print a few of these so we can get started, so I can get started today. And the noise has begun, of course, across the street. They're working on the hotel. Did we talk about this? Remember, we had an episode a while ago where some tiles fell off the hotel. And the hotel is now wrapped, and they are going to tear off the tiles and glue them back on. They are. They're redoing the outside of the hotel. And man, it's going to get noisy. Putting up the scaffolding was no big deal, but they already did a test on taking the tiles off. And although some of the tiles are loose and fell off easily, 90% of them, more than whatever, are bonded tight. and they are hammering and jackhammering the tiles off the front of the hotel. And it's insanely, insanely noisy. They may be doing some of that any minute now. And for the next few months, yeah, it'll be next few months, we are going to be living with this. I guess there's no way. I had chatted with one of the guys, and he said what they were going to try and do was a tap test. They're tapping, 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 and when they hear, that's Yamada-san. So it must have been Nami-san who went up first. They're doing a tap test, and when they can hear some kind of funny sound, that's where bad tiles are. They tear them off. When the tap has another certain sound, that's where they leave them on. But he wasn't sure if they were going to trust that or if they were just going to cut and run and take all the tiles off. What am I doing? Printing, Dave. Just too much going on. Oh, the Baron's torn. Ha he ha he ha. How's our time? 9:01. Okay, we have show and tell today. In fact, show and tell actually might be fun for you today. I know. Watanabe-san has been hunting up. I guess I can turn off the audio outside, right? Audio from the outside camera should come off. Boom. I'm still hearing it here, but at least the outside noise should now come off. It's just chaos. There's another truck has pulled up and he's unloading stuff for the construction next door to me, upstairs. Nishinomiya-san is renovating part of his house. And that's an ongoing project. Test here, test, 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 test. Could be a bit blacker. Chicken Master says every few weeks there's some new construction. It's permanent. There is always stuff going on. Always. Here's the vegetable man. This place never sleeps. Never. There's always crap going on. There's always construction. There's always renovations. People moving in, people moving out. This is our famous vegetable man. Okay, that'll do. He's delivering vegetables to the Kobe beef restaurant next door. I don't get vegetables. This isn't a restaurant. This is commercial delivery. This is not household delivery. These are commercial. The trucks you see here in the morning delivering meat and vegetables, this is all delivering to restaurants. And they have to do it in the morning. Well, obviously it makes sense so the restaurants have food for the day, fresh food for the day, but also because some of these streets are closed from 10 o'clock. The Nakamise all shuts down. Trucks can make deliveries before 10 o'clock, but not after 10 o'clock. Our particular street is open all day long, but the district as a whole, many of the streets are only open before 10 o'clock for deliveries. And then it becomes a pedestrian zone. Okay, here's proof copies. This will be used now for color separation. This is not a print. You can see it's still fairly gray. It's not highlighted. This will serve for color separation. And onto this, I am going to trace those black lines that represent the halo and the beam. I will trace those onto this. What if Mokuhankan served food? Well, then we would have to source it, of course. We would have to either go and buy our own vegetables at the market in the morning, or we would have them delivered. That's up to us. Do I cook? I don't cook. I don't do any. Who's got time for stuff like that? My God. I don't cook hot water. Last night I ate at Shogun Burger just around the corner here. It's fairly new. They've been there about less than a year. I put them on my restaurant guide, and I've become a regular, and they're taking care of me in a way that I really am not so happy with. Actually, when I go to a restaurant, I order what I like. One of the things they've got there, it's a chicken salad. It's a burger joint. You can get the Wagyu burgers that cost 8,000 yen and stacked 6 high. I don't buy that stuff. They make a chicken salad, nice lettuce, avocado, greens, and then there's a few fries on the side, and I get a quarter pint of beer, whatever. And that's fine for Dave. But I'm a regular, and what they've started to do, and I'm a bit... It's so difficult with this stuff in Japan. Last night it happened again. It was kind of crowded. I got in, waited in line, put my order in, paid the thing, took my ticket, put the beer order in, went and sat down. And about 10 minutes later, she brings me the order. It's a half pint, not a quarter pint. It's a half pint. Sorry. I'm exaggerating the wrong way around. It's a half pint. She brings me my order, and she's got 2 hands, whatever. She puts the salad, the nice big salad, little side of fries, puts the beer down, and then she says, from the owner, you're savistes, you're a regular. So she puts a side of onion rings on the table next to me. And like, if I had actually wanted fatty, deep-fried, big tray of onion rings, I would have ordered them, and I didn't order them. I don't really want that, but there it is. This is now service from the boss. Thank you for your custom, because I'm in there like once a week or something. And maybe he knows, we talked about this, he knows that I have put his restaurant on my recommended list. And what do I do now? I leave it, don't eat it. I guess what I should do really is just tell him, next time I go in there, if you're planning on giving me something, please don't give me something. Show the weight chart. So can I ask for pickles instead? I don't know. They're being friendly, and if you try and reject somebody's friendship or whatever, I don't know. It all depends on the person's character, Yeah, it is straight. John's got to, just say, thanks for your generosity, but I can't eat that much food. I mean, on the face of it, that's the simple thing to do. It's just that I've learned, no matter how simple it seems, it always ends up causing trouble, causing a problem. No, I should have done that today. This is one of those places where you pay in advance, you don't pay later. So you pay in advance, get your stuff, food, and then so you just walk out. If it was a pay later place, it would have been easier. I go up to this cash register, the guy comes in and says, "That was really nice, thank you very much. Boy, having the onion rings, that was really a bit too much. So thank you for the idea, but it's okay. I'm quite happy with what I ordered." So I guess this is what I have to do. But the thing is, if I do it next time, when I go in there, you're buying from the ticket machine at the front. You're not talking to a human being. So I buy from the ticket machine, and the next contact with a human being is when they deliver it to your table, because the ticket machine communicates with the background. So there's no chance to communicate with somebody before. Buy the ticket. "Here's my order, please. I'm kind of full today, so please don't bring anything extra." I wasn't planning on that. I don't know. A place I go to, I've learned not to order sides because they're going to give it to me, So bring them back for staff. Nobody is going to want 30 minutes too old onion rings, They don't do doggy bags in Japan. Actually, that's something. The culture is starting to change now. I've seen a couple of news reports about this. You're probably not going to believe this, but this is the way. There's been a couple of news reports about this. Some larger restaurant chains have applied to the government for permission to allow customers to take food home. It's not a thing. It's against health regulations here. It's not a thing like it is. I mean, my God, servings in Japan are not what they are in America, but it's not a thing here. Nobody expects to take food home. The feeling is that it's dangerous. Fresh food, eat it. If it's past its sold by date, which means you take the leftover half of the pizza home, you stick it in the fridge, 2 weeks later you eat it, you die of food poisoning, the restaurant's on the hook. That's the feeling. I know, you're saying it doesn't make any sense, but that's the way it works here. So there is a move afoot now, because the whole modern climate is don't waste food, don't waste this. They're petitioning to the health Ministry of Health or whatever it is who makes these rules to allow restaurants to let people take food home. A fast food place, you go to McDonald's, you order, you take it home. Of course, that's the design. We're talking about restaurants. When food has been served to you in a restaurant, there are no doggy bags here. And it's not legal. It doesn't work here. The other thing, and also I'm not making this up, this was in last night's newspaper. So if you Google this, it will pop up in the Yomiuri newspaper. The convenience stores have a very, very strict system of sell by date. And this happens to you more. For me, this happens every, a couple times a month. I get my food, put it in my basket, go to the counter at 7-Eleven. Beep, beep, and it won't beep on the salad because it's past its sell-by date. And maybe it came in at 11 o'clock, and this is now 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's past 6 hours. The machine won't sell it. It won't beep. And I'll say, look, it's okay, I'm going home to eat it. I'll eat it right now, it's okay. The kid says, I can't do anything. I can't sell it to you. It doesn't beep. He puts it aside. I got to go choose something else. And that's going to go in the trash. And every day they throw away dozens of onigiri, dozens of stuff, dozens of things. And there is now a movement afoot to do this. This was in last night's newspaper. The 7-Eleven guy, when he beeps it, it goes boop. He beeps it into a special place, throws it in the back shelf there. The beeping data goes out to the local food bank people. And there are types of things. There's no food banks on every block, but the local welfare office from the government knows who doesn't have enough money to get food and stuff like this. And that information goes into a database. And the people who have applied for food support from the government welfare agencies who don't have enough, they're not paying tax, they're doing this, they're getting a little supplementary income from the government, they have an app that shows them The 7-Eleven on the block next to you just beeped something which is no good. If you want it, head over there and pick it up. That's the outline of the thing that these people are trying to put together. And it would be free for them. And they would, on their app, they would go there. It would be a special beep. The 7-Eleven knows they've got it. The Government Welfare Office knows they've got it. And then there. Then if there's another rejected food, it goes to the next person in the list. Now, this doesn't happen now. They are proposing to build this system. So it's sort of a food bank type of system, so that the 7-Eleven doesn't throw this away. It goes to somebody who can deserve it and somebody who needs it. I'm not commenting on this is a good idea, bad idea, whatever. If I were the business owner and the people are all waiting outside for the timetable until the food becomes free, then they're going to get their app and come in and get it. I don't know. But this is happening. If I think about it and remember it, I'll find the link to the newspaper story and to show you this. But you can't buy it. I mean, I've talked to the kids. It's okay, I'm going to eat it in 5 minutes. I won't die. I can't help you. They can't physically beep it. All right, what was I doing? Yeah, show and tell. There's just so much stuff going on here. My God. Okay, let me get this stuff out of the way because the show and tell stuff today is a little bit big. How long's it been since we did this? My God, opened a package. We haven't done this for ages. It's like old times. Oh, they've taped it. I don't think we're going to be able to recycle this. Look at this. I like to try and take the plastic off neatly so that we can use it again, but I don't think I'm going to get it off. It's taped with that tape that doesn't come off easily. So let's just, let's hack our way into the jungle. No, there's no way that's going to be, no way that's going to be recyclable. Jump, 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 jump. That was a coffee cup. I hope it was empty. Only one way to find out. So it is now. I don't see anything pouring on the floor. I think we're okay. Try a bit more carefully. Got it. Who's counting anyway? More plastic. If we're lucky, we'll get in here before 9:30. Oops, oops, oops. Oh, I see the thing has come apart. Ha ha ha. This is an old print set. It's an old beaten up print set, which Watanabe-san bought on auction. It's missing a bunch of prints. So I don't have to worry too much here about being careful. Look, don't sweat what's happening here. The packaging is defunct. We will not be using the old original packaging. It's a print set that saw better days 60 years ago. Oh my God, this is more than 60 years old. This is going to be, it's Oedo Mokuhansha. Oedo Mokuhansha. It's a set of prints. What have we got here? 花鳥風月なんとかshoe. I don't remember the pronunciation. Flower, bird, wind, moon. And fugetsu just, it means, it's wind and moon. It's a character that means landscapes. Kacho is bird and flower nature pictures. And this is ukiyo-e Kacho Fugetsu collection. And it was published in I think it's the late 1950s, early 1960s. And we see these sets, and they are sometimes in really nice condition, not very often, and most times in medium condition, and sometimes they are a tragedy. And I sure hope she didn't pay too much for this one. But the main question is, what are the prints like? Because we are about, this is a rescue. These prints have been trapped in here for all those years, and there's probably going to be some mold involved, there may be foxing involved, and maybe we'll find some prints that are useful. The first envelope is empty, so we knew it was a broken set. Let's, how are we going to get in here? Okay, cross your fingers, everybody. Cross your fingers. We might be okay for some of these. This is Oedo Mokuhankan, and they package their prints on this just dirty borigami. What's it called in English? I don't know. It's not cardboard. It's kind of illustration paper. And of course, it's 100% pulp. Not too bad. We've got a little bit of incipient foxing here at one side. We've got some damage here, but you know what? There's a nice big wide margin, and we are going to chop that off. The print itself looks okay. This is a reproduction from Utamaro's series of birds. And they've left off the poetry, which is actually not so bad. This is nice. It's nicely printed. We may have some nice prints here. Look at this. This is nicely carved and nicely printed. And we may have sort of been getting this just in time. You can see what's happening. Out at the edge where the oxygen can get in bit by bit by bit. Oh, another little bonus here. Can you see? This is an in-joke. It's carved by Hori Harada. Hori Harada Suri Itakura. Now, I never met this Itakura. I met his son, who is still working in town today. This is the older one, working in the 1950s. And Harada was a carver, and this is his bench. So the print we are looking at here, we've opened up just now. This print was carved on the same bench at which I am sitting at the moment. This is Harada-san's bench, and this print was carved by Harada-san in the immediate post-war period. Cool, good fun. If they're all in that good condition, we have a winner. We have a winner. We're in no way going to try and sell this as a set. These prints will come out one by one by one, and they go into our shop to go to 25 nice new homes. How's the next one? Oh, look at this. They're going to be okay. They're going to be okay. There's a moon there, and what they've done is they didn't use silver for the moon. They used aluminum. And if they had used silver, it would be going black. But they've used aluminum, which stays silvery color. Nicely done. Nice gradation. Nicely done. I am a happy camper. And 25, no, how many are in here? It's a 25 set, and the guy said 2 or 3 are missing. So whatever, 20 people are going to be very happy. Oh, look at this. Look at the printers. Can you see the crap, the corner mark? Look at this. This is from printers who don't care what they're doing. Ken-san, good morning. You've seen us. We struggle and wipe and try and get the corners all clean. These guys could care less. Put a spoon in there, give me a break. Run, print, run, print. They knew how it was going to be published, that it was going to go in this folder with a paper folder around it. So they didn't care. Urgh. The difficult part for me, of course, is these are going to have to come out of these folders. But don't get upset, but this is what's going to happen next. Look, we're going to tear this stuff off. We have to get rid of all this. This is acidic junk paper. These come off, out of the way. Dave has to get his knife and slice it off this backboard and throw that stuff away. That's going to be my job this morning. Good morning, Guragawa-san. We've got some packing to do today, maybe, if I can get these taken off. I don't know. They're glued on pretty heavily. These are not bad. They're in good condition. We've caught this before they all became terribly foxed. We've got a good set here. Watanabe-san found a nice one. I don't know how much she paid for it. That will depend. The price these prints will go to in the shop will depend on 3 or 4 things. One, of course, it depends on how much she paid for this. Sometimes we have to bid high. Sometimes there's competition in the markets, in the dealer network. That's one factor. Second factor will be the condition of the prints. We've looked at a couple that look nice. This next one here is not nice at all. Let's get this off so you can see it. Look at this. Careless, terrible printing. I'm embarrassed about this. Look at this. Look at the printing. He just didn't go the extra little mile to make a nice smooth background. We see brush strokes. He's got too much water. The printing is awful. Now, if this print was in nice condition and printed well, it would have gone into the shop maybe 12,100 yen or something like that. But as it is, there's no way we can ask that much money for something printed this badly. It will go in the shop because I don't see any foxing or damage, but it'll be priced much lower. The quality is so bad. So as I said, the price in the shop will depend on what we paid for it, the condition of the print, the condition of the quality of the printing. But it looks like we've escaped the mold and foxing. This is funny. I wish they hadn't done this. This series is noted for one thing. Oedo Mokuhankan. They tried to make some of the prints look old. What they did with this one, look at the color. This is not white paper. Before they started printing, they took a brush and they toned the paper to make it look old. And maybe back in 1950 when they did this, it made a nice little appearance, not a bright white paper. But now we've got artificial toning plus 80 years of history, and it doesn't look toned at all, it just looks dirty. Look at this. It hasn't made it look attractive at all, it's just made it look dirty. And when we flip it over on the back, look at this. Here, zoom out a bit, I'm sorry. We know this is done artificially because when we look at the back side of the paper, there it is. And they've even, the toning solution they used dripped around the edge onto the back. If they had left it alone, the print would now be nicely toned like this. But now it just looks dirty. So this is not going to be an expensive one at all. It'll go in the shop because there's nothing wrong with it, but it will be priced to reflect the quality that it is. It looks like we've made it. I don't see any that are terribly foxed or moldy. Oh, looking good. This one too. People are waiting for this. This is a very popular one. Nice, I'm very happy. Watanabe-san found a good batch of prints. Three or four look pretty dirty, pretty messy. The rest of them look okay. So the box, even though the box was smashed up outside, it seems that it was taken care of fairly well. And again, here's the company that made them. This is the Oedo Mokuhankan. And we have the team here. And in this case, it was the carver Matsuda. I never met him. And this is the Surishi printer Ogawa. These are people I don't know. This is the 1950s, early 60s. I was still a child. So most of these people I don't know. Good, it'll come back to life. It's been hidden away now for 60 or 70 years, stuffed in a drawer and ignored. And now it's going to be taken out, cleaned up, presented properly, and it can find a new home somewhere out in the world. We're really happy to be doing this, you know. The downside is we've broken up this set, but it was broken already. You saw the condition when we opened it up. It's much better that these prints go one by one to nicer homes. Where are we? Oh, 9:32. We've run a little bit over. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay, it's Monday today. The next stream will be Thursday. I'm not quite sure what I'll be doing. Perhaps this color separation work will still be underway at that time. I don't know. We'll be doing something. And a heads up now for the future, I will be leaving for Canada on February the 7th. And there will be a 2-week gap in the middle of February when there are no streams. So just to get yourself warmed up for that. We're going to be okay for the next 10 days or so, but there will be a gap while I'm on vacation with my family. Someone's asking, have I done the crossword? I haven't done the one from yesterday. I'll be saving it for later this week. The last crossword I did was the one from the week before. So if you're looking for hints, I can't help you about last Sunday. We'll be 2 weeks without streams. As I said, I'm leaving on the 7th, getting back on the 22nd. There'll be no streams in that period. But for now, there will be. I'll see you again on Thursday. Thanks very much. Signing off. 3, 2, 1. Bye for now. Thank you.